the infant and the family, we're going to start talking about proportional changes. So look at this, infants gain 150 to 210 grams. That's about 5 to 7 ounces weekly until they're about 5 to 6 months old, which is when birth weight has at least doubled. This is important, and NCLEX expects you to know that. By 6 months old, we expect their weight to double. By 1 year of age, we expect their weight to triple. Make sure you guys know this, okay? By 1 year old, the infant's birth weight has tripled for an average weight of about 9.75 kilograms. So usually what NCLEX will do, they will give you the birth weight and the date, and then they'll give you the new date, and they'll ask you how much you expect that patient to weigh. 6 months, double, 1 year, triple, okay? Moving on. This is something else that NCLEX expects you to know. Notice I have an asterisk next to it. Closure of the cranial sutures occur with the posterior fontanelle, 6 to 8 weeks, and the anterior fontanelle to close by 12 to 18 months. Now, what I've seen in the past, I don't know why, but if NCLEX were to ask about the closure of fontanelles, usually they tend to ask about the anterior, but you never know. Make sure you know when both closes. So we expect the posterior fontanelle to close around 6 to 8 weeks, and the anterior fontanelle 12 to 18 months. But by 18 months, we expect that posterior fontanelle to be closed. Growth and development during infancy. For the 1 month old, we expect them to cry, to express displeasure. They're in the sensory motor phase, stage 1. They use reflexes. Birth to 1 month old. 2 months of age. This is important. 2 months of age. What do we expect? The posterior fontanelle is closed. What else do we expect? That grasp reflex fading, where you know how you put your finger in their palm, they'll automatically just grasp. It's a reflex. We expect by 2 months age for that starts to fade, because when they're grasping, they're doing it because they want to. It's not an automatic reflex anymore. Okay. What else are we expecting by 2 months of age? We're expecting them to be able to turn their head to the side when sound is made at the level of the ear. So if you snap your finger by their ear by 2 months of age, you expect them to be able to turn their head to where they hear the sound. 2 months of age, we expect to see a social smile in response to various stimuli. So by 2 months, that smile is not just a reflex. They're smiling because they're showing that they're happy about something. Moving on, 3 months. What do we expect to see by 3 months of age? The grasp reflex should be absent. It should now be gone. Not fading, but it should be gone. At 3 months, we should hear them cooing and babbling and chuckling. They should be able to recognize familiar faces and objects, such as the feeding bottle. They see the bottle, they should start getting excited. They should recognize mommy, recognize daddy, or recognize whoever that primary caregiver is. 4 months of age. At 4 months, the Moreau, the tonic neck, and the rooting reflexes have disappeared, and we're going to be talking about those reflexes shortly. You have to know those reflexes. Not only do you have to know those reflexes, you have to know when they appear and when they disappear. Okay? 4 months of age, we should expect for them to anticipate feeding when they see the bottle, or if the mother's breastfeeding. So if the mother's breastfeeding, they should get excited when they see mommy's breast, or if they see the bottle. At 4 months of age, we expect to see them rolling from their back to their side. How about 5 months? What do we expect to see when the child is 5 months old? Notice I have asterisks, I have stars next to these. At 5 months, beginning signs of the eruption of teeth. and 5 months birth weight doubles, because remember, it's by 6 months it should have doubled, but around 5 months you can see it start to double, but by 6 months it should have doubled. Does that make sense? All right. Also at 5 months, they should be able to grasp at objects voluntarily. They should be able to smile at mirror image. This is the great age where you put not a glass mirror, right? Not something that can break, but a plastic mirror. And they, for a long time, they'll love to look at themselves in the mirror and chuckle and smile. They can discriminate strangers from family. They discover parts of their body. 5 months of age, they can turn over from their abdomen to their back. Let's move on to 6 months. At 6 months, teething may begin with eruption of the 2 lower central incisors. What's important for you guys to know, the first teeth that we expect to see erupt should be those 2 lower central incisors. That's usually what comes out first. They're rolling from their back to their abdomen, no problem. They start imitating sounds. Ma, da, da. They briefly search for a dropped object. Remember object permanence? We talked about that last week, where they start to understand, okay, even though they can't see it, it's still there. That's where they start. You start to see it, okay? 7 months of age, eruption of the upper central incisors. I suggest you guys make index cards. If you're not good at memorization, I'm horrible at memorization. I always need a reason for something to remember. So if you're that type of person, definitely make index cards. At 7 months, they'll spontaneously lift their head off the surface. They can sit for short amounts of time, leaning forward on both hands. They can bear full weight on feet. Of course, holding on to something, right? At 7 months, they can fixate on very small objects. They have an increasing fear of stranger. That's called stranger anxiety. They show signs of fretfulness when the parent disappears. I put a star next to this one. Around 7 months old, this is when they like to play peekaboo. They will play that with you forever. Peekaboo's a biggie. NCLEX loves asking about peekaboo. 8 months old. They can sit steadily unsupported for longer periods of time. Not only do they not need support, they can sit for a longer period of time. They can stand holding on to furniture. At 8 months old, they respond to the word no. And let me tell you what I mean when I say respond. That doesn't mean they stop doing whatever they're doing. They'll stop for a second, which lets you know that they understand what the word no is, and then they'll completely disregard what you said and keep doing what they're doing. But they understand what that word is. Even for a second, they'll stop for a second, look you in the eye, and then go back to what they were doing, okay? Nine months. At 9 months old, eruption of the upper lateral incisors may occur. At 9 months, they'll use the thumb and index finger in the crude pincer grasp. We talked about that last week, this. Preference for use of the dominant hand now. So around 9 months, you can figure out if they're going to be left-handed or right-handed. They comprehend no completely. At 10 months, they'll say mama, dada with meaning. They're not just repeating it because you say it and you have an expectant look on your face. They're saying it with meaning. They comprehend bye-bye. They hear mama and dada say bye-bye, they start to cry, right? They comprehend bye-bye. They may say one word such as hi, bye, or no. They develop object permanence. They play interactive games such as patty cake. At 11 months, we have eruption of the lower lateral incisors. They hold on to furniture or with both hands when their hands are being held. They anticipate body gestures when a familiar nursery rhyme or story is being told, such as, what's that game they love to play? Something about the 3 Little Pigs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you say below the house, like they expect it, they want you to do it. They play at 11 months, they play games such as up and down or peekaboo. They shake their head for no. At 12 months, 1 year old, this is a huge milestone. Everything I have a star next to, you better know it, such as the birth weight is tripled. Their length is increased by 50%. The Babinski reflex disappears. We're going to talk about the Babinski reflex, very important for you guys to know as it relates to neurological development. At 12 months old, they can walk with one hand held. I didn't underline this, but you need to know this. They cruise very well. That word cruise, that means that they can walk around holding on to things. So they'll hold on to things to get from one place to another. That's called cruising. They do that well. They may attempt to stand alone momentarily. And around 12 months, they can take their first step. They'll say 3 to 5 words besides mama and dada. They understand simple verbal commands such as give it to me, or stop that, or show me your eyes, show me your nose. They're fearful in strange situations. They'll cling to their parents, such as when they go to the doctor's office. That's why you want to examine them while the parent is holding them. They'll search for an object even if it has not been hidden, but searches only where the object was last seen. What's that? Object permanence. Still on the same page, a couple paragraphs down. Look at this. Maternally derived iron stores. So the iron that the baby gets from mom is present for the first 5 to 6 months of life, but it gradually starts to diminish. It slowly becomes less and less. This also accounts for the lowered hemoglobin levels towards the end of the 6 months. Why? Because all of the iron that they were getting from mom is slowly diminishing. So around 6 months, we'll see that hemoglobin level decrease. Next page, let's talk about thermal regulation. During infancy, thermal regulation becomes more efficient. So I'll talk about that in a second. The ability of the skin to contract, and muscles to shiver in response to cold increases. Remember, when the baby's just born, can they shiver? No, they can't keep themselves warm. That's why we're so worried about cold stress. But as they get bigger, they have thermal regulation. Shivering, thermogenesis causes muscles and muscle fibers to contract, which generates metabolic heat, which is distributed throughout the body. Increased adipose, that's a fat, increased adipose tissue during the first 6 months insulates the body against heat loss. Binocularity, or the fixation of 2 ocular images into one cerebral picture, that's fusion. This begins to develop by 6 weeks old and should be established by 4 months old. Fine motor development. Fine motor development includes the use of hands and fingers and the prehension, that's the grasp of objects. Grasping occurs during the first 2 to 3 months as a reflex, and it gradually becomes voluntary. Have you noticed, guys? This that we're talking about, we already saw this in the table that we just looked at before. So we've seen this information in the table or chart or whatever that was, and now we're seeing it again in the text. You think that's important to know? Absolutely. There's a reason the author is repeating this information. By 6 months old, infants have increased manipulative skills. They hold their bottles, they grasp their feet. Remember, they discover body parts, right? They grasp their feet and pull them to their mouth. Yeah, they're nasty. And they feed themselves crackers. By 7 months old, this is a big one, you need to know that. By 7, they transfer objects from one hand to the other. They use one hand for grasping and hold a cube in each hand simultaneously. They're learning how to use their body parts. They enjoy banging objects and explore the movable parts of toys. Movable parts of toys, but should the toys be able to be removed from itself? Absolutely not, because what's the first thing that child's going to do? They're going to put it in their mouth, and we don't want a choking hazard. So it's something important that they're always teaching parents to check the toys and make sure that nothing's broken, nothing can be removed from that actual body of the toy, so the child doesn't put it in their mouth. Gradually, the palmar grasp, that's using the whole hand, doing this to pick something up, that palmar grasp is replaced by the pincer grasp, using thumb and index finger. By 8 to 9 months old, the infants use a crude pincer grasp, and by 10 months old, they have progressed to a neat pincer grasp sufficient to pick up raisins or other finger foods. So they go from using the pincer grasp to pick up big objects to much smaller objects such as a Cheerio or a raisin. By 1 year old, infants try to build towers of 2 blocks, but they fail. But they try. All right, let's move on. We're going to move on to gross motor development. Let's talk about head control. Full-term newborns can momentarily hold their heads midline. They can lift and turn their heads from side to side when they are prone on their stomach. This is not the case when infants are lying prone on a pillow or a soft surface. Infants do not have the head control to lift their heads out of the depression of the object, such as a soft pillow, and they therefore risk suffocation in the prone position early in infancy. That's why when you're having that infant prone, number 1, they need to be awake. Number 2, you need to be watching them. And number 3, it needs to be on a hard surface. Don't have it on the pillow, because you take your eyes off of them for 1 second and they can't lift their heads, that baby has suffocated. By 4 months old, infants can lift their heads and front portion of their chest about 90 degrees above the table, bearing the weight on their forearms. By 4 to 6 months old, head control is well established. You need to know that. By 4 to 6 months old, head control is well established. And if it's not, they're going to need further assessment. I wrote something down here. What did I wrote? I wrote, any head lag after 6 months need development assessment or checked by the neurologist. Okay? Let's talk about rolling over. The ability to willfully turn from the abdomen to the back occurs around 5 months old. We saw this already. We saw this in the chart. Now we're hearing this again. By 5 months old. And the ability to turn from back to abdomen occurs around 6 months old. This is the second time the authors repeated this information. It's important to place infants in the supine position for sleep. Don't ever put them prone, back to sleep. Their back has to be on that hard surface to go to sleep. Well, not hard, they could be in their crib on a mattress, but back to sleep, that's how you have to think. While the infant's awake, a prone position, that's a tummy time, is acceptable to enhance achievement of milestones such as head control, crawling, creeping, turning over. All of that stuff, all of that is wonderful if they're awake. But if they're sleeping, they need to be placed supine on their back. What I write down here, I wrote tummy time, happy face, only while awake, never side or prone. When they're asleep, don't put them on their side because you never know when they're going to roll over to their tummy. If they're asleep, they're on their back. If they're awake, you can put them on their side or on their tummy.